What's up everyone, this is Platinum Howler 14, and welcome back for Game 2 of this epic ION Championship set against Zero. If you haven't watched the first video in this series yet, make sure to check that out via the link in the description below. Pause the video now and click the link so I don't spoil it for anyone. Okay. After winning the first game in the best of 3, my approach for Game 2 is to play aggressively. I can take a few risks that maybe I wouldn't normally take, knowing that I still have a third game if things don't pan out. So with that in mind, I'm just going to lead immediately with Victini. My choice band of Victini, my hardest hitting Pokemon, can get a big chunk of damage off right out of the gate, as he's going to lead with his Rotom, so I'm going to click Bolt Strike to get as much damage off on this Rotom that I can. But I miss a Bolt Strike, a Victory Star boosted Bolt Strike with Victini. That had a 6% chance to miss, ladies and gentlemen. 6% chance to miss. I am very annoyed about that. When do you ever see people miss a Bolt Strike with Victini? Anyway, now that I am locked into Bolt Strike, I'm predicting a Landorus switch, because that would just eat up an electric type attack and I'd be forced to switch out and he could get momentum with U-turn. But actually he makes a better play in going into Ferrothorn, because Iron Barbs would have taken me out and now he can get up his Stealth Rocks. And I should have doubled back into my Victini right there, because either he goes for Stealth Rocks and I get Victini in before Stealth Rocks, or he goes for any other move and kills my Victini anyway. So instead I decide to knock off the leftovers and then switch out into Landorus so I can get up my own Stealth Rocks. But I'm going to switch in on Stealth Rocks and get Leech Seeded. I am going to be able to get my Stealth Rocks up, but after he goes for a Power Whip and recover and gets more HP back from another turn of Leech Seed, my Citrus Berry is going to be popped, and that is already severely limiting my switch-ins to Charizard X. So this was a very big price to pay to get up Stealth Rocks against this team, but I'm gonna have to live with it, and I cannot let this Ferrothorn recover any more HP, so I have to switch out. Hard switching instead of going for U-turn, otherwise I'd be taking Iron Barb's damage. And I'm gonna go into Sceptile as he's gonna go for another Power Whip. I'm going to be able to take this relatively well. I mean, I don't really care about little damage like that I take on the Sceptile, because any big damage that it's going to take is going to take it out anyway. So, right here, I decide to reveal the Hidden Power Fire on Mega Sceptile. I'm still kind of in this game, so it's not like I was giving something away that was unnecessary. I knew that he wouldn't be necessarily expecting it, and that maybe he wouldn't want to take damage on anything else, because he had already gotten his Stealth Rocks up and did a good amount of work. So I'm going to take him out with 2 Hidden Power Fires. And here is where the lack of information from Sylveon last game is going to come back and bite me, because I'm thinking I've seen basically every defensive item on other pokes on his team, so I'm thinking that this Sylveon might be Choice Specs. So I'm going to fodder off my Victini right here, as he's going to go for Wish, and I'm thinking, okay, you can still be Choice Specs with Wish. Maybe you're just predicting me to fodder it off, right? Because it's not like Sylveon needs that much coverage when it's a Choice Spec set. So I bring in Bisharp, double into Sceptile, predicting him to switch into Rotom to eat up a hit and get HP back with the Wish. But he's not Choice Specs. He just goes straight for Hyper Voice, probably predicting me to over-predict. And my Sceptile goes down and he gets his HP back with the Wish. So now I'm going to bring Bisharp back in, and he knows that I'm not going to over-predict this time, as he's going to switch out into Rotom this time around as I go for the Iron Head, and that's going to do literally nothing to Rotom because it is 4 times resisted. And speaking of risks that I wouldn't normally take, I go for Swords Dance right here. If he goes for Will-O-Wisp or Hydro Pump and misses, I proceed to do a ton of work on his team and maybe outright win. But Bisharp, you are so goddamn weak. You take 75% from a Hydro Pump by a Rotom Wash. That's just, oh god. I was really surprised that took me out, and I really don't like. I'm disappointed in Bisharp from there. I mean, as soon as I saw he went for Hydro Pump, I was like, oh, I'm gonna live that, and I'm gonna kill it. No, absolutely not. Anyway, after Bisharp goes down, I basically have zero chance of winning this game. But he is gonna switch his Rotom out into Latios. I get the crit with the Shadow Ball that I don't think would have killed otherwise, but it's not a big deal. Because I would say he was more or less foddering off the Latios in either case to get his Sylveon in, and with a combination of Wish, Protect, and Hyper Voice, he's going to be able to whittle down my Raikou eventually. What I'm playing for here, it's a very slim chance, but I might as well play for it. If I can get enough damage off on the Sylveon with Raikou, and be able to set up a Calm Mind with Keldeo on preferably Landorus T, then I might be able to sweep him. So I'm praying that I can just whittle this Sylveon down to a good enough point where Keldeo could take it out with a +1 or maybe +2 Scald. And I'm going for Thunderbolt constantly because that's my most powerful move. But here's where I go for Shadow Ball on this turn because I finally realized that I should have been going for special defense drops instead with Shadow Ball. Because then I would have been dealing over 50% and this would have become a losing battle for him. So, I mean, it was a low chance either way. I also could have got a lucky 10% paralysis with Thunderbolt, but I mean, the game, it wasn't a very good chance for me at this point, as he is going to be able to weaken my Raikou into the red. I have less than 10% left, as he's going to be able to get his Sylveon up to full HP, and he smartly withdraws it after this, because I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt on this turn, and he's going to be able to eat it up with his Assault Vest Landorus, and then he's going to go for U-turn after I just go for Hidden Power Ice. At this point, I know that I have no chance of winning, so I'm not making any predictions. I'm just attacking what's in front of me because I'm basically conceding defeat at this point. He played that Sylveon very, very well, was able to weaken me and still preserve himself to have full health to deal with Keldeo later. So now he's going to go out into Rotom Wash, as I don't really want to reveal that I'm not choice with Keldeo yet. I mean, I just go out with Landorus and I'm going to pop the Citrus Berry. I mean, it doesn't really matter what I go out into this point. The game is lost, as he's just going to go for another Hydro Pump to kill my Landorus off. And now all that's left is my Keldeo. And I'm going to bring it in and just go for a Secret Sword on the Rotom just to get as much damage off as I can. I mean, he still has 4 Pokemon left, and I'm down to just Keldeo. Keldeo cannot 1v4 the rest of his team, so that actually does a decent amount of damage. That would have had a very good chance to kill at +1 from where he started. He's going to go for Volt Switch. He's not going to be able to take me out in one hit, as now he's just going to go into Sylveon and finish me off, and he's going to see that I have leftovers. It's not that I could have prevented him finding out that I wasn't choiced, unless I decided to switch Keldeo in when Raikou was in against Sylveon on a Hyper Voice to die in one shot. Then he maybe wouldn't have known that I was not choiced. But I'm not that smart. I don't think that far ahead. Zero's going to win the second game 4-0. It's not a huge deal. I still have a third game to take this back. played risky. It didn't work out, and I'm not going to worry about it that much going into Game 3. Unfortunately, there's still quite a few things that I don't know about his team. I don't know Latios' last move. All I've seen are dual screens and Draco Meteor. It could be, it would make more sense to be Psyshock, but it could also be Defog, because he would otherwise not have any way to get rid of hazards with a Charizard on his team. So that's, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know Charizard's last move. I've only seen Dragon Dance and Fire Punch, so he could have a Dragon type move. It could be either Dragon Claw or Outrage. I don't really know. And then the last move is probably going to be Roost, but I can't confirm that. I don't know Sylveon's last move. I've only seen Hyper Voice, Wish, and Protect. And I don't know Ferrothorn's last move either. I've only seen Leech Seed and Stealth Rock and Power Whip. And I know it's not Gyro Ball, so it's probably either Thunder Wave or Protect or something like that. Or maybe even Spikes, I don't know. Either way, Game 3 is coming. It's going to be, Game 3 was a very good game, so make sure that you do tune into that. And also, heading into that game, that third game, remember that Lando versus Ferrothorn sequence where he popped my Citrus Berry within 2 turns of me switching in, taking Leech Seed and Power Whip damage as I got up my Stealth Rocks. I said that was a huge price to pay, and it would be good to for you all to keep that in mind when you're watching the third game. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for Game 3. All right, guys. Bye.